This is Fred Beck from Fred Beck Fighting. I'm in the hotel lobby today with Gibbs' manager, long time manager. You've had Gibbs for his whole career?
Whole boxing career. Yeah.
I'm joined by Chivers. Today's the day where everything went viral. Today's the day where Fire Week truly started.
You think so?
Yeah.
I thought yesterday was pretty good. This music, have you chosen this in the lobby?
I've asked them to turn it down.
They haven't.
No, they have turned down a lot.
Have they? Okay.
Yeah. They can't hear it. I've got good audio.
Well, yeah, there was a bit of beef about an hour or two ago, wasn't there? It's all good. A little bit off narrative by JJ, I think, but it's making it more about him versus Gibb rather than Misfits versus Gibb, which was the play and the promotion. But if JJ wants to take it down that line, fine, that's great. Everyone will be talking about a future potential fight, won't they? So, yeah, no, it was great. If it brings attention to it, I just feel bad for Slim,
Right.
because there's no attention on him. It was Gibb versus Misfits, now it's Gibb versus JJ, and Gibb seems to think that people actually are backing him rather than using him as a bit of a pawn, really. I think you realise, it's JJ and Gibb. Slim's just there as a bit of a puppet in that scenario. So
You think people have kind of forgotten Slim's there?
they haven't forgotten he's there, and ultimately this is a sideline. But when JJ's involved, the sideline can be as big or bigger than the main story, can't it? Yeah.
So today we'll have those KSIs kind of goading Gibb, winding him up.
Yeah.
He started it, that's fair to say.
Yeah.
Started it against Gibb when Gibb was doing his public workout. Gibb obviously ignored KSI, but Leon...
He invited him.
Did he?
He invited him in the ring.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he said, he was talking about a spar. He said, well, come and let's spar now.
Right.
No, Gibb doesn't give a shit. He likes it. He loves the back and forward. He doesn't seem to have that connection with someone like Slim. Slim, not quite on that. I don't think he's had the experience of that sort of promotion of a fight before. I think he's a little bit. This is, Gibbs used to this. JJ's used to this. So, Gibb was cool. Look, other people, it might distract them and take away from the focus. It doesn't with Gibb. He's totally so focused and so professional, and he sees the value in it as well. So it's fine.
He understands the marketing perspective,
Yeah.
but I kind of find it's all that thing where you take the piss out of your mate for a while and then you finally snap. I feel like that's today that happened.
Gibb didn't snap, not at all. He's totally didn't speak about it once afterwards. The only thing he did say is he reminded us how between the team off camera. I'm happy to say it. He's not the one going to the press saying about this spar. He never came to the press when he got JJ on skates the previous spar during the Taylor Holder camp. No one knows about that.
Wow, look at you, Leo.
So no, but I know about that one. I don't know anything about this one.
So what happened on that spar? Where was this?
You have to ask the people involved.
Right.
That's what I've heard at the time. I was quite close to that one.
So the Taylor Holder fight. What date did you fight Taylor Holder?
Can't remember.
What month?
Was it 3 years ago? Yeah, that was viral. The decision and everything. That was Gibbs' redemption. Everyone was behind it, including JJ. And
No, I remember that.
everybody.
Wasn't it the same night McGregor fought Poirier number 3? And that was...
No way.
Yeah. That's when McGregor broke his leg. Do you remember? I think that happened. I think that happened the same night, but I can't quite remember what month it is. I'm joking. Everyone did. That was a very hyped card. YouTubers versus TikTokers.
Oh, fine.
And your men were the only men to get paid out of the whole card.
Exactly. Yeah.
The full purse.
Full purse. Yeah.
So did you say the night before we want the money in escrow as my guys aren't fighting?
Well, we contracted escrow, but it's even if you contract escrow and you have the sort of power of the control then of whether you show up and fight or not, but they've still got to press a button and pay it.
Right.
And you don't know the story.
I do know vaguely.
Yeah.
I know it looks good on you. Your men both got paid that night when no one else got paid.
Yeah.
Probably half of what.
So yeah, it gets to fight week, and Social Gloves, I'm all over them saying, send me this escrow account, show me the proof of funds, all this sort of stuff, ignore. And then it gets to 2 days before the fight, 2 or 3 days before the fight, and they go, oh no, the escrow company let us down, we haven't managed to open it. Can you sort it?
Right.
And I like, what do you mean, can we sort it? We could, because I was part of quite a big entertainment company. OP was owned by then, and they could easily sort these accounts out. Anyway, escrow account got put in place, and what are you typing at?
Give us a Taylor Holder date. I always remember dates. There we go, June 12th.
Ages.
There we go, June 12th, 2021.
Well, we digress
There we go.
anyway, because obviously since then there's been an awful lot of improvement from Gibb and JJ. I can say even since that spar they're talking about today, Gibb has improved incredibly. I imagine JJ has somewhat. I don't know. You have to ask him.
You're telling me about this first.
Anyway, I don't want to talk about the first spar.
But you just said a very loud comment saying Gibb had JJ on skates,
Yeah, that's what
which
I
basically
thought.
means that Gibb was getting the most of him.
Yeah, but again, that's back then. There's different times, different scenarios. Like Leon exposed today, this current spar was not really a spar. It was 20-ounce gloves, 2 rounds out, and then coming back in. Gibbs there pacing it. There's not much danger with 20-ounce gloves to
well, it wasn't 20-ounce gloves. I asked Alexis.
Gibbs was. I think Alexis.
No, they gave him the same gloves.
Fine.
They gave him both equal gloves.
Yeah, 20s.
I don't think they were 20s.
I don't know. I don't know if JJ had lighter ones or not. It doesn't matter.
They had the same equal gloves, the same ounces.
It doesn't matter.
But they weren't 20s and they were the same gloves.
The point was they're not 10-ounce puncher's gloves, are they? And for 2
sparring,
rounds,
you want to have that
exactly,
for sparring.
but if you know you're only on for 2 rounds and you've got big padded gloves against you, you can be a little bit more aggressive for those rounds while the other person's staying in.
Well, Gibb was the one that got pulled out after 2 rounds.
You'll have to talk to Leon. As I say, I don't know about this spar.
Right.
Anyway, it's absolutely irrelevant and off topic. And on the escrow thing, which you just interrupted about.
Well, actually, no. I showed the date and you moved on.
I did.
I was enjoying that story as well.
Anyway, I got to weigh-in day, and they still hadn't paid. And it was like, get this, and literally got an hour before weigh-in, everyone's in the tracksuits ready. Don't forget, I was in England because of COVID. I couldn't get to Miami.
Right.
The guys had to go to Cancun for 2 weeks.
Shouldn't the manager always be at the fight?
Yeah, it would have taken a month away to get there. And
a month?
Yeah.
How did Gibb get there?
He went away to Cancun for 2 weeks.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's the only way to get in.
So
during
you weren't at the
COVID.
fight. You couldn't get to the fight whatsoever. Oh wow!
No, I was online. I was just literally doing everything on however many hours, 5 hours difference. It was different. It was weird. It was really weird. Anyway, point was, spoke to the guys. I said, look, no sign of the escrow money. You got 10 minutes to weigh, and we have to make a decision now. And anyway, I got put through straight to McBroom's dad. Gave him absolute hell. Put him on the spot, saying, event's over. And then he sort of put the pressure on whoever held the account, and they paid straight away.
Wow.
10 minutes before weigh-in. Yeah.
Did Gibb and Dei Noce was happening at the time?
A little bit. At that point, I was holding it from them the whole time. Like, you don't give any bad news at all. You don't need to involve the people you work with in anything like that to worry them in a fight. We do. I mean, any fight we had small gripes and things from this, that, and the other. The whole point is just dealing with them, isn't it? But at that point, it was like, heads up, guys. Pass me to McBroom's dad, find him in the way, and literally, I think it was, I can't remember if it was Desi or Gibbs' phone, but they literally went, he wants to talk to you, and that was it, because he'd been pushing me around everybody up to that. But anyway, that's the story. Yeah. But they got paid anyway.
Yeah, blimey.
Yeah.
The money was that their biggest paydays?
Well, no, Gibb Kingpin.
Right.
Desi Mayweather.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Blimey. Okay. Yeah. Making a lot of money, and all those promotions went bankrupt. So. Yeah. Anyway, scratch it then. How much?
The Global Titans didn't go bankrupt. They just.
Well, wasn't it like we've got to be very careful we say about Global Titans here because we don't know who's running this sort of thing. Anyway,
but that's not a social glove situation, no. Yeah.
But anyway, moving on for tomorrow, the weigh-ins. What can you expect from both guys? I guess Slim won the first press. Oh, sorry, Gibb won the first press conference. Slim probably won the second press conference, and.
Did he talk? It was just JJ versus Gibb again, wasn't it?
Was it?
Yeah, that's everything's online. I don't see a single tweet about anything other than that.
Well, I'd say it was Gibb in the first one, and then Slim obviously edging.
So Gibb beat Misfits in the first one, and it was fairly close between Gibb and JJ, from what I can gather, for the second one. Is that what?
Okay, well, if we want to say Gibb versus Misfits, then Gibb won the first one, and then Misfits won the second one. But it's very odd saying Misfits, like it's a whole promotion, you know?
You know what I'm saying? Like, the memo's changed a little bit, hasn't it? But it's still the same. It's fine. It all works out well.
Anyway, for the weigh-in tomorrow, do you expect Slim to maybe be more on his on-game, be more on it?
On it?
In terms of being more witty, wanting to make sure that he knows he's there?
He needs some new lines. I promise you, bro. He's trying to just convince himself every time he speaks. I promise you. I'm going to knock him out. I promise you. It's all I've heard. It's getting a bit boring. It's a good job JJ and other people do step in on his behalf, isn't it? On the promotion side of things.
Is Slim not a good promoter?
Slim's fine.
All right.
Yeah, but I don't think he's been given much of a chance, has he? In many ways, it's taken some pressure off him to be varied and interesting because other people are carrying that. JJ, whoever, Gibb, obviously.
Is it mentally wearing Gibb down that KSI is going after him and so Slim?
No, I think it's more fun. It's more of a challenge with JJ because JJ has this great presence and experience in the same way as Gibb does. Like Gibb says to you in his interviews, he's felt it quite dull.
Interview. He's only one interview this week. So interview.
No. This week and before, and at press conference. One interview this week. What, yesterday?
Yeah.
Well, it's press conference day, wasn't it?
Yeah. We also had the Grand Arrivals and today as well.
Were you at the Grand Arrivals?
Yes.
In fact, you did. You filmed him with Gibbs.
Yeah.
You got your content, didn't you? Yeah.
More than Gibb, but
You know, he signed to fight for Misfits, not Fred Talk Fighting, don't you?
I know, but Misfits content is a little bit here and there, isn't it? So
now who's dissing Misfits? Fred versus Mams next.
No. So stop sitting, Leo. That's my job. That's not yours.
Oh, we could do this all day. Yeah, the whole narrative building. Who's against who? Yeah, it's fun.
No. We do love Misfits. Misfits content do a great job. Not as good a job as Fred was fighting, but you know they can grind. They can keep working. Anyway, Jay Swingler, who you spoken to him this week?
Been messaging him, saying, you know, obviously he wishes he was here.
Did he not flown out, or was that too difficult for him? Seeing it go, and it's a bit annoying for him, I guess. It's a bit of a bittersweet.
Let's face it, he changed his whole direction for the year of what he's going to do. He said, I'm doing boxing for X number of years. This is my thing now. YouTube, yes, I'll do it, but this is now priority. Suddenly this has been taken away from him. So what's he going to do? He's got to reassess, hasn't he? He's done a few Childish launches. Him and Rumours have been doing some stuff too.
Smashing it with Childish as well.
Yeah.
Always going viral. Everyone wears it as well. You do see how it's in the YouTube merch. You really see out on the street where someone's wearing the actual merch.
Because it's not just a hoodie with a logo. It's proper quality. Yeah, and these guys are brilliant. I've
never seen you wear Childish though.
I've got a couple. Yeah.
Maybe they don't send it like they send to me. I'm still waiting.
I don't blag it. They send it me when I don't ask for it. I've got a couple. They're freaking expensive.
Yeah.
Well, they're not expensive. They're worth every penny. My point is, they're not just going to gift out red T-shirts, are they? Well, how many did they send?
Yeah, they did. They did actually. We didn't beg it. They actually offered. They're like, Fred, we want to give this to you. And I was like,
you must have asked 3 times, and then you
no,
said to Jay, I never got my jumper.
No. He sent I was doing an interview. It's actually in Telford, one of Misfits' best events actually. Telford, Swingler versus Nick Gameo, and I was interviewing Rumours and Jay, and they both say, Fred, we should get your own Childish stuff. And I was like, that's very kind of you.
And you held them to it.
No, I kind of left it, and then it arrived. That's how good they are.
Yeah, there you go. 2 great guys, absolute great gems. So yeah, back to your point now, Jay. I think though it was put to him, would he be involved? It was just a little bit too late to maybe get him involved with the promotion and maybe bits and pieces, and his head probably wouldn't have been straight. And all week he'd have just been absolutely hounded, wouldn't he, about what's wrong, and he'd feel obliged to almost disclose the different private medical situations, which he's got to do some further things over the next however many months to learn even more about the problem. I'm not going to disclose what it is, but it means he can't fight, at least not for the short term.
So you expect like another year out for Swingler, really?
Who knows? It could be, we don't know if it's just you can't fight. We don't know.
Will Swingler come out? Will Jay come out and say what it is? He stayed rather quiet.
With respect for of Nick and the opponent, and not walking. You know, he's another really, just like Gibb, genuinely nice guys who don't put themselves first unless it's their stage, of course. That he doesn't need to get involved with this week. Jay's got his time to reflect with his family, look into his stuff, work out his next moves with YouTube.
And Rumours nearly stepped in as well.
How do you know that?
Well, I know everyone behind the scenes. We drop a thing here and there, but
it was posed to him. Rumours hasn't been training. He wouldn't have been able to step in with 1 week's notice. But he did consider. He thought, would it be feasible on what the weight and all those different things? Could I last how many? You'd have to renegotiate minutes, rounds, everything. And it was just too short. I mean, the fact he considered it for a day.
Yeah, no. And he's always been like, I don't know if I'm good.
Well, Jay's been trying to convince him for a long time. Yeah. I mean, wouldn't that be a tag team?
Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be pay-per-view.
That would be brilliant.
You'd have to get a big arena than Telford for that.
Can you imagine?
What arena could you do it in? You have to do it in Birmingham arena.
Yeah, Birmingham's a couple of big ones there.
Would do at least, that would sell out 6,000 people at least. Tag team.
Easy. Of course it would. Those guys are great. And you'd get some pretty slick promo video, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
With them, with the Childish team filming it. That'd be brilliant.
That would be cool. Yeah. Cool indeed. Anything else regarding coming up?
Coming up, let's just get through this week. It's such a big event, isn't it? We've been building to this for a long time with Misfits, with the team there. Until we got here, it was almost like always in the back of my mind, is this actually happening? Because it's been so long in the build-up. I mean, you knew about the original. I mean, how long ago was it when the JJ versus 2 was announced? That's 6 months.
The JJ versus 2
versus 80 and Slim.
80 and Slim. That was meant for August. It was announced in June.
Okay, that, as you now know, was part of potentially a precursor to this.
Right.
which would have been a brilliant fit-in for Gibb to join Misfits and then that build towards us. So we've not just been working towards this. The whole thing was a 6-month plan. So this feels like it's been going on for a long time. So the fact we're here is brilliant. And Gibbs in absolute tip-top shape. I'm sure Slim's improved a lot and doing great things too. We'll see how good he is, but I tell you what, Gibbs on a great level right now.
How do you expect it to go?
I just know Gibb is even better and exponentially better than the last time you saw him. He's super confident off camera. He's super confident as Slim is on camera.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's nothing that JJ or anyone could throw. He's just him. He's an absolute perfectionist, as you know, from everything from diet to weight to lifestyle to training to recovery, everything. Even out here, he's finding recovery centres right to the last drop of effort and professionalism. He's as professional as anybody you could possibly be. So all you can do is do your best, right? Be as good as you can be on the day, and then, hey, if somehow someone is better than you, geez, I can't see it. I just can't see the level being but you know, who knows? They don't know how good Gibb is. We don't really know how good Slim is, which probably makes for an incredible unknown, really, and why some people are still 50-50, because no one really knows outside of the individual teams.
Is Gibb a slow starter?
I
don't know. I don't think he is, but everyone's saying it. So maybe I should watch back a few of those fights.
Okay, so
I guess they're taking it from the Austin McBroom fight where he got dropped earlier on.
It was weird when it
got
clipped and pulled round.
It wasn't like a proper knock. Oh, it was a knockdown, but it kind of.
It was a flash one, wasn't
it?
If you saw, he sort of blocked his one hand, and he held onto it too long, and it just pulled him off just enough. It was a shot which wouldn't land every time. Anyway, he knocked him down early.
But
people can get flash.
When else he started slow though? Trying to think.
Well, it doesn't matter if he starts slow or not. I think what it means is, like any good fighter, you'll work out your opponent early.
Like Mayweather.
Well, he's had his worst rounds in his first round when people have tried to bulldoze him, haven't they? And
that's what Mayweather does. He starts off slow.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to be switched on still, but obviously, if you've never fought these guys, you don't know what their game plan is in the first round. Almost like a 2-round spar with 20-ounce gloves, right? You can throw a few more.
20-ounce gloves, but
whatever.
If we're great as a manager, you could get your facts right on the equipment they were using, but you know.
Yeah, I heard 20-ounce Gibb was wearing 16 JJ, and I've also heard 20 and 20. That's all I've heard, but I don't care. It's not my business. I don't do the spars. All I know is it wasn't a spar. It was just that, and that was the last time they did it, and they both improved, and it would be very different right now. That's what matters. Anyway, he's not fighting a spar. It's not a KSI versus Speed spar on a kick stream, is it? This is a serious fight, as would Gibb versus JJB in a proper fight.
Could you make that fight, Gibb and JJ?
Oh, geez, like I literally,
Is that another big headache for you?
No.
It's pretty quite a forward fight to make.
I mean, ultimately, it's down to JJ, what he wants to do, and not his ego, but we all know the status he's at, and we know where Gibbs at. They're both in that position where they, obviously JJ, understandably, being an owner of the business as well, can do what he wants, with multiple revenue streams and projects. So it's not one that's like, oh, you've got to fight this guy, and will be under pressure to fight anybody. So it would be on his terms in that regard. But ultimately, Gibb is the only other person on the roster now here who can say, like he has said repeatedly, you guys don't interest me. You've got too many losses. I need that big. Gibb would totally take that fight. But the problem is, again, it's a very similar thing to JJ and Jake Paul with the weight. Mm-hmm. Gibb is at 168. He probably should be 165.
A fair weight for that is 175, I reckon.
It's too high. Gibb fights at 168 or 165.
I don't think KSI's ever fought 170.
Wasn't he nearly that with Joe Weller?
Oh, well, that was 2018.
And I know it.
This is 7 years ago.
Some people say that that would be his best weight, but obviously he's put on a lot of bulk now.
I think KSI's always best at 175. For the KSI and Gibb fight, how confident do you be at the weight at 175, or would you prefer it to be 170?
Gibb fights at the moment at 168, and he's creeping down. I think potentially next fight would be 165. So it's going the wrong way in the same way as Jake Paul. They're both going the wrong way from JJ in the middle, aren't they? I think that is going to be as tough a thing as the weight with Jake that JJ has right now. Just because people say, yeah, but JJ's the A side and he can look what happened with Jake and Gibb at 200 pounds or whatever it was. It's not his weight. They're in completely different weight class. So JJ fought was it about 170? I'll have to go back and look for the Joe Weller fight. And people say he looked his best and was at his best. Could potentially be his fight weight, but he's not that now. He's put on more muscle. He's stronger, and he's giving Jake the 185. I think JJ is most probably comfortable at 180. What did he fight Tommy Fury at? 180?
182.5. 183.
Okay, well, it's probably because Tommy wanted it a bit heavier, didn't
Tommy and Jake were at 185. I think KSI and Tommy were 183.
So in other words, JJ wanted 180, Tommy wanted 185. Yeah. Okay, so JJ could do 180, still way too far. I mean, 175, geez. Gibb is adamant, this is where I fight. That is the case for everyone, probably, maybe other than JJ. But he's not going to go to 180.
Would you do 173?
Talk to Abdul and Gibb and Leon.
Liam's saying this because you know that when you're negotiating and someone says, well, you said this one time in this interview.
It's on record then.
Yeah.
No, he'd say 168 today. He'd say, I want to do 165, but knowing he couldn't. Would you say 170 is fair? Maybe, but I honestly think, at the moment, the starting point would be 168, and what JJ would want to come down to. But does JJ really want that? If he sees something on Thursday night, which he's like, you know what, that's a bit dodgy. I might want to not get involved with that. Then he won't. And why would he bother losing £10 or more to come down to Gibb? But Gibb ain't going up that because he's done that once before and look what happened.
Yeah.
I know
he did get obliterated by Jake Paul, yeah.
Well, he didn't get that was a completely different guy. That started him actually, that needed to happen.
Right.
I mean, you've seen the physique difference, you've seen the professionalism difference, the skill difference. That was the start of his career. That was a fun YouTube fight in his mind, which the whole community got behind and helped make. And that kicked off Jake Paul.
Should Gibb be technically thanking KSI for making that fight?
He and Jake Paul should be thanking me, because it wouldn't have happened with DAZN if I hadn't made the fight.
You're going to say, him and Jake Paul should be thanking me, because you're like, this is where your villain art comes to you. I started this shit. I started everything, Fred. Well, that's what you should start saying. Yes, do you know who I am, Fred?
Well, it was already made because I'd already done the whole Logan 2 thing, right? Yeah. And that took a year to make. And this was needed. The Jake Gibb fight was needed to keep people on the DAZN platform, because if you remember, and it still is mainly, I know they do pay-per-view now, it wasn't that they were anti-pay-per-view then, but it was all about keeping the fans we brought on for KSI Logan 2 interested. And not too many months later. So it was November when JJ and Logan fought, and Gibb was in January, end of January, wasn't it? That was the furthest they would be. They wanted the fight to be apart. So it was a really quick turnaround, very short camp. Gibb loved the whole thing, but he's taken it incredibly more seriously since. The only negative in some respects is that where Jake Paul, we gave him the leg up, and look where he is now. So that was one drawback from it for everyone, I suppose, on this side of the fence. But equally, it was required, and it's Gibb's journey, isn't it? This is where people have bought into the fun Gibber to now the rejuvenated, revamped, super big Gibber.
He should make a documentary.
You've not seen it?
I haven't watched it.
It's good, isn't it?
Yeah, I thought there was going to be a fight announcement at the end of the documentary. I think I put a tweet out, confidently saying there's going to be a fight announcent, and there wasn't one. Was there ever a plan to have a fight announcement at the end of a documentary?
I can't remember the timing with the discussions with the tag team, and then this. I think it was a case of, it was almost, Gibb held on to this quite long for that potential, but at that point he was perfectly at ease with himself not to box again. Mm-hmm. Never stopped training, because he's in the same way as JJ said today. I think it was in your interview, or where he literally trains every day. Although he does do other things, which means he can't possibly train as hard as Gibb would do in a day, because he is somewhat busy in other aspects. But
KSI doesn't just stick to boxing like Gibb. No. KSI does lots of other things.
I know. My point is, Gibb has always just been training anyway. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. Anyway, throw us up. Anything else? Wow, look at your shoes. Very clean. Armani. Clean. No two ways sporting
very good.
Sporting Calyx.
Seen those all week. I've seen those. Yeah.
Those all week. Big budget cuts here on Fred's Fighting. Been those all week. Yeah.
But no, they're good. Calyx has done brilliant, hasn't he? Another great success story from the same bubble. Yeah, Calyx, same, and props, and not that, I mean, Calyx himself, just like Gibb, up to a certain point in his career anyway, and many other people will always look back to JJ as, and building this scene to be able to build these platforms on the back of it. The foundations were laid by the likes of JJ for these fantastic other creators to then flourish and show their talent, like Calix.
Yeah, certainly.
Shout out Calix.
Blimey, it's ain't a paid promotion here. Yeah. Anyway, Liam, thank you very much. What's your plan the rest of today?
Today? It's 9:30. I think I have eaten. I might get one drink in the bar before bed.
Yeah. It's never one drink. That's how it starts. And then it's 4 a.m.
As if, like fight week. You may be.
Yeah, working. I like others, you know, some people have to work pretty hard at this.
Yeah, because other people have already done the work for you.
Yeah, I wish, blimey. A lot easier, but no. All right, well, Liam, thank you very much.
Cheers, man. Take it easy.